There you go, back at it again for Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. It's still Rockhart and Renmar Santa Cruz on the mic, and we are going into game number 2 draft. ZETA Division and Team Max.
Finally! I'm happy. I'm happy that we're finally in the draft, okay? So, Lunox, they got the gacha. Seems like they're a little bit too heavily invested on taking this Lunox out. That was also a priority ban for ZETA Division in game number 1 of the red side. Lancelot, CC. It seems like CC is one of the heroes that the Team Max really just don't want to go up against, which I think then now should tell something about how they like to play. With them packing so much crowd control, maybe the flip side of that is they are not comfortable also dealing with scenarios like that. So if I'm ZETA Division, I'm looking towards crowd control. I almost said Grok control, but I think if they can, just go ahead and pick up the Grok.
Yeah, the Grok is cooking, as they like to say. And the Grok will cook in this game specifically, or in most games rather, specifically in the high-level gameplay. So, you know what? They would not be surprised by that. This, again, this is all despite the nerfs, right? So, yeah, I would say that's a nerf. Some people say that's adjustment, but I really think that's like a big nerf. Removing like the crowd control immunity makes it a little bit harder to use, but I still think that the engage potential is huge for that hero.
Yeah, either the Grok or the Yusun Shin, I think, is what I'm eyeing out here for ZETA Division. They need more crowd control, and again, we saw that Juicin doesn't deliver that much anymore in that regard, but it's still really good. This is still, honestly, also really good. Very strong utility, great initiation, the surprise with the title strike flicker that you could enter. So if they weren't going to go for the Grok and they went for the Kalea, I'm fine with this. But I think now Team Max needs to lock in the Yi-Sun Shin if they can, and maybe even just go for the Eve. It worked out so well for them that why not?
The Eve is just really good, and they heard you. Oh, okay. Don't want to make a bit of. Don't want to be too loco on the clickies there, but yes, Grok is perfect with the Eve. That's beautiful for Team Max.
Yeah, and this is why also I was thinking that ZETA would want to pick up the Grok, because if the Grok ended up in ZETA, then if they want to match aggression, it's either just going to be the Cho or Hilda again for Max later on in the draft. They would have picked up Yi-Sun Shin first and then pick up the Cho or the Hilda in the 3rd slot on the red side. But since the Grok was given away to Max, it's an easy pick for them. I don't want to see this Franco here. It's a little bit too 50-50 and too dependent on landing the hooks and the bites. They get the Farsa instead, although that could have been a really good Valentina pick actually, because it's not a blind Valentina pick anymore. You see the tech charge, you see the real world manipulation, yet they still settle in on the Farsa, and they're still pushing the issue here with this Uranus that I feel like could have been Yu Zhong, could have been Lapu Lapu, even an Arlot would have been fantastic for them.
Yeah, and in this scenario, it feels like they're the ones who might get Arloted. I'm not sure.
Yes.
But yeah, it feels so good, right? Like, if you don't have a Ruby, you don't need to run a Ruby, you don't need the tankiness that much. Arlot is the option to go maximum damage, to maximum crowd control, and it combos so well with the Eve too.
Yeah, the difficult thing about this is, now as expected, Yi-Sun Shin goes to Max. What are you going to play for the Assassin? Team Max just bans out the, there you go, the Hayabusa. And then it's done. You're out of your pool. You're not going to go Ling up against a Grok. You're stuck with either forcing yourself to play an Akai or a Fredrin in the jungle. But even the Fredrin already seeing the Eve. And it's not backed up by something like a Kimmy. And you don't have a lot of crowd control. Or you don't have crowd control at all on your EXP laner in the Uranus. That ZETA Division might have shot themselves in the foot with picking up the Uranus in the 3rd slot. They easily could have just picked up either the Hayabusa or the Yi-Sun Shin, but now they're going to be forced to play fighter. If they're going to go for a surprising fighter jungle pick, depending on if you already see the 4th pick, maybe an X-Borg jungle could slot in, a Barretts could slot in, but definitely the ones that we're more used to in the Fredrin and the Akai are still options.
Yeah. And again, Akai, I think you were very much in agreement there. Very underutilized. Obviously, still a very, very good jungle pick. And can kind of deal with the Yi Sun Shin to some extent, or to a massive extent, honestly. Fredrin, I really wonder how well they actually have that, and I hope they know that it's definitely one of those picks that is way up there if we're talking about like the way to deal with a Yi Sun Shin.
Yeah, actually they hovered something that can also still show up. The Suyo for Zeta Division might be okay. But them picking up the Phoveus here sort of softly blocks that. Again, the problem is there's just really not enough crowd control right now for Zeta Division. That their crowd control might be coming from the jungle unless they surprise and put the Uranus in the jungle instead, and then they show up with a different EXP laner. But then some of the best ones are gone. If this goes Phoveus, and Arlot would be very meh. So they go Arlot instead. I think you... now that I think about it. Uranus jungle, XP Phoveus. Hey, Xborg, cool. Showed up. And the Suyo, cool.
Oh, okay. I was thinking if they ran out of jungle options, all the spicy ones are taken. Suyo is definitely starting to get up there in terms of usage, and it doesn't hurt that it has a really cool Sasuke skin as well.
Yeah. Fighter gold, and yep, that's gonna be Ruby.
Ooh,
and then into an Xborg. So it's Team Max against the Xborg. I think that's why it was hovered as well by Zeta. They were trying to pick between the Ruby and the Xborg, and they chose the Ruby when the Xborg is open. And the Ruby is playing into an Eve. Ruby, very good against Eve.
That's true.
Against
it is
Eve,
so good.
Not the best time of your life here. I'm leaning towards Team Max in the draft. But if I will say this: if Zeta Division get a win with this, bro, they deserve all the praise because it would be a difficult one.
True. Even more veteran teams than Zeta Division will, if they play this lineup, oh my goodness, I swear it is just an uphill battle. Again, that's putting it lightly, right? Almost nigh impossible. But they do have a very solid front line. I'm not gonna lie, it might be super skill dependent on the Suyo. If maybe they can dominate early on. See if that's gonna happen here in game number 2.
It'll really depend a lot on Kani and Katsu to carry the team here. Take control of it early on. King Ares already had to experience a cut from the Uranus, as expected. I like it. You go for the cut right away. Very fast. You take control. You'll be able to leash for this golem. So I like the initial rotation for Zeta Division, wanting to be aggressive. Let's see if they'll be able to take it away. And they do. Here comes King Carries for the assist. And Team Max will back off. They're not going to be able to get this Little Wanderer.
Slowly but surely, probably using or maximizing the Uranus here. But that's going to be first blood going over to Kani with the help of Katsu there on the mid. And that's going to slow down the Yi Sun Shin very, very much.
Yeah, interesting because Sakuzu already saw where Zeta Division was, and it just makes a lot of sense that Katsu and Kani would have gone down to the golem to stop him from being able to steal, because they know that he needed to equalize with the golem steal that happened in his own jungle by taking one of his own, but he already saw where Kani and Katsu was, so why he still decided to commit an invade to me is quite perplexing.
Guess maybe the confidence is starting to get into Team Max here. That was definitely an overplay, and man, looking for another way in is gonna be June. Look at June, man. He just has so much vision of everything. This whole mid lane area that will give Zeta Division a lot more confidence to go ahead and take this turtle down, which is of course the big one. Gonna get reset by the Grog. That's what you get. And there you go with that real world manipulation. Huge knockup inside of it. But looks like Turtle gonna get stolen here by Sakuzu. And look at the big team fight with that last insanity. They were not ready to deal with that. They did not see that coming. That's gonna be Team Max with few kills and a turtle in their pockets.
Massive final slash. Team Max trying to go for an invade here, but they're going to be able to defend this purple buff. Delayed a little bit. And 10 will be able to get into the purple buff in time to secure it for himself. Great counter by Team Max, but Sakzu in trouble.
Big trouble on top side, Sakzu. Oh man, he's got the pretty good estimations.
10?
Maybe trying to bait out some movements on the June, but 10 was actually there on the intercept, ready to take him down. And that's 2 down for Team Max. Cypher just a little bit too late to the party to contribute anything, and that's going to be them pushing them back.
Yeah, great exchange back and forth. Very
Yeah.
good exchange and back and forth between these two. I like how Zeta Division isn't just like falling behind in their own jungle to try and get 10 back through. Like, yo, just focus on getting your orange buff after the purple. Great call for 10 to go cut behind the first turret, secure the kill there onto Zakzu, and now it evens things out. And I think we're already, of course, witnessing an even far more interesting game compared to game number 1, and I like how competitive it has been for this one so far.
It's not as dominant as a movement or a performance here for Team Max compared to game 1. Look at that goal lead. It's only at 800. Definitely as good as Zeta Division has gotten here. You know, they got some gold for that outer turret energy shield on top side as well. So definitely kind of evens out the scales a lot. And now Cypher, alongside BMO the key, around the mid lane, will be forcing a rotation from some of these other players. That's 5 members, or 4 members rather, for Zeta around the mid. Big cut by Lei on the bot side. Maybe we'll try to get some attention, but you know what? It's a different story. Zeta Division wants to go for the 5-man.
Okay, Ruby's gonna get here first before the X-Borg. They have to track the X-Borg's entry in this fight.
Oh, yep, there's a Mountain Shocker. This is very, very much visible here for Team Max.
Ooh.
And they're going to take out Connie very early on. Again, fighting inside the real world. Not the ideal scenario, but you know what? Zeta Division says we don't care. We've got a very beefy lineup, and we are not afraid to use him. That's a triple kill for 10 on the Suyo, and the biggest advantage that Zeta Division has had in his whole game so far.
Yeah, we're really seeing 10 shine this time. Look at him! Cutting behind the first turret, bring Lei and BMO the key down. So despite our skepticism, Zeta Division were able to make the right moves, and the burst from Katsu takes down Lei.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about, right? Like, we can kind of suggest any hero here to Zeta Division, but it all boils down to how comfortable they are on 1, and that does feel like the case here for the Suyo.
Yeah, Suyo looks really good on that 10. I meant to say 10 looks really good on that Suyo. It's a 10 out of 10 performance for the Suyo so far, despite the early death he suffered. How he's been rotating and controlling the map has been stellar.
Oh, speed control, look at that. The huge tech charge into Earthen Rampart. Flanked, of course, by the real world. Still going to be a great knock-up here for Connie. Cypher goes down. Killing spree for Katsu. And Lei actually might be next on the chopping board. Taken down by June. And a big miss on the final slash just might mean Zeta Division has a big license to go for some more invades.
Yeah, the surge of life is coming in big time right now for Zeta Division. I thought Connie would go down, but he survived through his own passive, keeping himself alive. Team Max, Zakzu, since he had a much more difficult game this time around, and he is just slightly behind 10, we're not seeing the same snowball roll that we saw from Team Max in game number 1. Zeta Division has been taking it to the fight of Team Max with great counter rotations that now, despite Team Max being able to get a great layer of setups, Zeta Division are fighting good.
Yeah, great fighting right now. Popping that Firaga armor, there's just no way for Lei to get... Oh, actually, Flicker is going to be activated. Here's Team Ares. They're comboing it up as much as they can, but it's going to be 10 getting away with the turtle. Give up Katsu for the exchange. Cypher with the Flicker as well. And so far, it does feel like Team Max is just trying to catch up in the gold. And they're not trying to take these fights at all. Trying to go for disengage. King Ares with a re-engage. And the final slash going to be missing out. Great knockup. And that actually might mean that Team Max will have to run for the hills on this one. King Ares is going to be the sacrificial lamb. unlimited vengeance on the 4. Not gonna be enough to take him down. And there you go. So far, so good. 1,000 goal lead for Zeta Division here in Game 2.
Hopefully, Team Max decided to take that fight as a means to keep the split push open for late. But wait.
Oh, they use up so much there. That is a feathered airstrike alongside the Tsunami Slam. Gonna be used up and burned out. For Zeta Division, that might be some breathing room here. But siege is still happening on the bottom side. 10 up on front. No minions means there's no push. Actually, there's still a big tank left alone here. I forgot about that. Last Insanity is here. Fervent Rampart just barely enough to block the way. But the real world is here to stay. 10 though with a huge damage on the Suyo. Forces him to cancel. But the team fight looks like it's still going to be favoring Team Max at the end. The only guy that they can't take down is 10. And he's just going to have to make a run for it. But that's 4 for 2.
Yeah, 10 still trying to run away from Zaxu. King Ares and Cypher finally gets away from them, but Cypher will check him out in his purple buff, knowing that he'll be there. And again, the biggest effect of just fighting under the real-world manipulation, even though Zeta Division can deal a lot of damage, a lot of the crowd control layered together by Team Max actually overextends and delays a lot of the abilities that Zeta Division want to bring out. So even though 10 was able to get a quick look onto Bimo the Key there, eventually all of the layering just got to Zeta Division. Cypher gets to cancel out the Tsunami Slam from Kani. Feathered Airstrike in the center of the map. Zeta Division, they look competitive here. I think this could go to anyone at this point. It's a huge 50-50, but Team Max's minion waves look good up top, while Zeta Division's minion waves look good down bottom.
That's true. They're also waiting for the ultimate. So far, it's just Moiminet with the I'm Offended ready to use here. Katsu already used up that big feathered airstrike. This could be the opening that Team Max is looking for. So far, they're just not sure where all the members of Zeta are. And Zeta going for the offensive. Cypher is the first one to target. Still gonna be able to make it out. Waiting for Sakzu to make a play here. And there goes that Tsunami Slam. Big salvos being dropped as well. They can't go near the real world manipulation. But looks like Zeta Division actually got the upper hand in that team fight.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to rush this Lord down. Cypher on the way, running back, didn't get the full heal. While Saksu got his orange buff first, but now he's going to rejoin the fight. No big ultimates just yet available for Team Max except for the tech charge.
And there you go, it's used up. Ares is going to go down. No. And the last Insanity does some decent damage. But in the end of the day, 10 and June is just starting to become unstoppable here. Katsuo the chase as well. That's Cypher going down and Lei getting destroyed. And that is going to be 2 members remaining to defend for Team Max. Zeta Division were able to really turn that one around.
10 is showing off real damn well with that Suyo. What a performance by the young man. 7-1-4. A 10 out of 10 performance definitely for the Suyo. Maximizing the damage, maximizing the mobility. And in the end, winning out the retribution for this crucial Lord. Still a very close game, though. But now one of the problems for Team Max is that they cannot take the Uranus down fast enough. But at the end of the day, with how close it is, it really will boil down to who can get the key pickoffs, the key damage off first. But with Katsu now having a Divine Glaive, this is not going to be an easy time for Team Max. Lei needs to spend a little bit more time waiting for the other members of Team Max to get the vision first. I know the damage of the X-Borg hurts, but he cannot be the one standing in front and initiating things. They need him to be able to freely apply the heat stacks for as long as he could before using the last Insanity.
And he's using it right now, although it does look like it's a better angle with the separation as well for the Earthen Rampart. Looks like they're able to do some pretty good damage. But here comes 10. He's trying to go and find King Ares, and he finds him! Takes him out with one fell swoop, and that's a 4v5. That's going to make it a lot easier for Zeta Division to actually split up and clear this map.
Kani and Moiminet got to use their flickers perfectly, saving that battle spell. And of course, 10 still continuing the trend with his Suyo. Just unstoppable right now with all the mobility and damage that he can dish out. You can see the confidence oozing out of him through your screens. And now Team Max will have to play significantly from behind. The gold's still relatively close. But Queen's Wings built up there for 10. While there is a fleeting time now for Kani. Quicker access to the Tsunami Slam.
Yep, and he's gonna use it right here, right now. No way to cancel that out for Cypher. 4-man tech charge, and following it up with that last Insanity. Actually did the trick here. Zeta Division is split up. Here comes Zatsu for the cleanup. He's gonna find Katsu and as well as June1. Kani falls. It's all up to 10. This might not be defendable, and that is gonna be a triple kill for Team Max here. Beautiful play by Zatsu, and finally he arrives just in time to take out the last remaining members of Zeta Division. They will take so much gold from that exchange.
You can't even fault Zeta Division for trying that. That was a good call to try and go for Cypher. But everything just lined up perfectly yet again for Team Max. The tech charge, perfect. BMO the key being there alongside Cypher was just as important to bring down the real world manipulation, to stop the attempt on chasing down Cypher. And because Zeta Division used that or committed that play so close to the base of Team Max, the other members were able to follow up. What a counter by Team Max. But again, you cannot fault Zeta Division for trying to make that play. They just got outplayed.
100% outplayed, man. I mean, gotta give props to Cypher there. I really thought he was just gonna go down without a fight, but that oh my goodness. That was just beautiful use of the tech charge. Tonic charge really just, the knockup is real, especially with 4 or more. And you can tell it's going to be a bit of a difficult defense here with a 4K goal lead suddenly for Team Max, although they do have the feathered airstrike. And here comes that re-engage with a real world. BMO doing phenomenal work, zoning out Zeta Division, stopping them from defending against that lord. But here comes that big one, that Tsunami Slam. Kani gonna get taken down though, and Cypher gonna be the answer. But 10, he's finally doing it. He is going on a roll here. He's steamrolling Team Max right now with beautiful usage of that Suyo. Here comes Katsu rather, just to go ahead and clean it up. But look at this guy. What? Maximum stacks of that last Insanity. 2 remaining members of Team Max are actually quite low. They might just go down here depending on how June and Katsu plays this out. And looks like King Ares buying just enough time. Vengeance and the stun going down here. Wow, this is so much time honestly being bought by King Ares. He might actually be able to take out Katsu as well, but it's just way too late on that final slash. June1 finishes the job.
What an exchange! Kani suddenly going in from within the base with a tidal strike. He initially got Sakzu. That's why he went down to a very low health in the red very, very quickly. Zeta Division got to layer everything, but Sakzu was able to get away. And here comes Sakzu again. June1 got caught by him. And BMO the key. What a game number 2 that we're seeing.
That is insane, bro. That caught me by surprise. I don't know what June1 was thinking there. They actually were gonna, that was a potential pivoting moment for them, but man, now they're gonna have to fight off and zone out without the Uranus. It's gonna be hard to clear these bushes.
Team Max, though, they've got some really good hold right now in the bush. It's only Kani. I guess I could send Moiminat maybe to check, but a counterplay from the Ruby, but then if you pull the Grok, there's a chance the tech charge might actually damage your team more. So yeah, they definitely need June1 back, and he is back just in time. Moiminat now built up with the Oracle, so should be surviving a little bit longer now, up to a Ice Queen Wand for the X-Borg. So that slow is going to be massive. You see the damage actually coming in from this X-Borg. Already committed the last Insanity.
Oh boy, that X-Borg is actually surviving a lot more than I thought he would. And going to be forcing a lot of movements as well coming in from Zeta Division. And now they're going to get a little bit more spread out. Katsu not going to be able to provide artillery. But look at 10. He is trying to do the work. He is hunting down BMO. And he is slashing him down into oblivion with a triple kill on that Suyo. Just might mean that it will be a 3-for-1 in favor of Zeta Division.
Yeah, a lot of damage by the minion waves, but this is it. Heroics from 10. They'll be able to get down this Lord, and it will boil down to the next Lord defense, whether or not Team Max can weather the storm. Still a very close game for both. Saksu will not be able to get close enough to even try and steal it away. 10 again. 13, 3, and 5. but also add Katsu to the mix, who's 5, 3, and 12. Despite the perfect entry by Cypher with the tech charge, the real-world manipulation on point, it's the Suyo that's just left unchecked.
That Suyo really is he's just starting to pop off so hard. The Super Saiyan moment that we were waiting for, Renmar. It's finally here, and Ten is doing it. Absolutely phenomenal performance. And again, he is looking for the exact targets that he needs to deal with.
Team Max, they actually both have the tools to defend and end the game. Both of these two teams is just who can execute better. That's the question. Slower minion wave push. There's going to be another second batch coming in. Mid lane minion wave, they delayed it just a little bit. They allowed the one siege minion of Team Max to hold it just a little bit longer. ZETA Division trying to find an opening. King Ares with the final slash.
Yeah, they used up that Tsunami Slam. Connie is low, but here comes that last Insanity used up by Lei. Again, a little bit too early maybe for my taste, but look at them. They're able to push back ZETA Division just a little bit more, but he does not have Virago armor. That might be a problem. And because of this, ZETA Division will actually be leading in gold for the next few seconds here. 18 minutes on the clock, 19 minutes on the clock, and it feels like it's even Stevens.
Yeah, Team Max really need to look at the making sure they have at least one minion wave pushed out, because ZETA Division will always have the bottom minion wave as the advantage that they have there. So Team Max needs to balance it out with their own constant push coming in through the top. So there was one thing that we saw in the big winning team fight there for ZETA Division before the Lord, is that there was a significant amount of damage dealt by the minion waves coming in from the top lane from Team Max, because ZETA Division just overlooked it. They decided to full commit into a big team fight that they, for a moment, just forgot the minion waves. They decided to make that, not forget, but they decided to make that as a sacrifice. So as you see, naturally, the minion waves up top will be winning it out against ZETA Divisions. So they can let that naturally flow. But if they can manipulate the waves in such a way that maybe they'll have a wave advantage, have one member off there to just clear out one minion wave. So by the time you're deciding to full commit for the Lord, wait, late.
Oh my goodness, that is huge. Actually, Last Insanity not going to be available for this team fight. If ZETA Division pushes this, is going to be just massive. It's a possible ticket, but
yeah,
you know what? They said, we don't need to force it. We've got Lord coming in 10 seconds. No need to risk it. ZETA Division, that's good. That's good, what do you call it? Trigger finger discipline.
Yeah. It's back very quickly, so they don't need to worry about the last insanity going away. So now they're going to show Sakzu up top, which means Team Max would want to start this Lord. They'll try to delay as quickly as they can, but ZETA Division might just call for the trigger, and they do.
Yep, they go for the trigger here. And this time around, it's Katsu with a pretty good salvo, but look at that real-world manipulation combo as well. 10 goes down. That's going to be the jungler of ZETA Division destroyed and removed from the map. It's all up to June 1 and Moiminet, but that might just be it. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to be able to defend this properly. If they want to clear, they need to be up close and personal, and Moiminet with the I'm Offended, trying to see if he can get him down low enough, but instead sacrifices his life just so that he can clear the minion wave. And that might be the massive game-defining play here. If that buys enough time, but 20 seconds on the clock for the rest of the members feels like it's impossible. And just like that, just when you thought ZETA Division had it, Team Max pulls it under the rug, and it's going to be them on game 2.
A terrific game by both teams, and you see Team Max here, they all have the look of, whew, okay, we didn't expect that to be that tough. Congratulations to Team Max for winning the series with the sweep. ZETA Division, though, hopefully they keep their heads up high. We definitely saw a lot more of the potential there of ZETA Division in that game number 2. We saw them pop off. Suyo on 10. He looks so good at that hero. But in the end, the hero for Team Max was BMO the key. The fact that even Cypher was able to get away with the tech charge, he was able to rejoin the fight. But it was the Starfield, the ultimate of the Eve, coming in from the mid laner that changed things up.
Yeah, that was massive. Honestly, I really thought they would not have an advantage just because, right? Just because it might take some time for Last Insanity to actually get into it. But, man, oh man, it was just a perfect set. It was just a perfect time when you have to use the real world manipulation. That for sure must have been heartbreaking. It felt like victory was within arm's reach here for Zeta Division. They're gonna have to try again, and yeah, beautiful execution here, and the clutch factor coming in from Team Max.
Sakzu, of course, the highlight here, 9-4 and 11 on this Yi Sun Shin. Great use of the traceless. I just got word we will also be getting a bit of a look onto the numbers that 10%ed here, but Sakzu